Yeah, you're good whenever.
Hi, I'm Miss Blackmore, and I am going to answer some interesting questions from my third Bell Contemporary Hispanic Studies class from these lovely students. So, first question, what does the tattoo on your arm mean? Well, as I've told you before, when I was in the Mexican gang, I got it and I can't talk about it. Okay? Next, have you been on any dates since your divorce? That is none of your business. Next, what is the most important thing for us to know before college? That's a good one, finally. The most important thing for you to know before college, I think, is to be very open-minded about what you might come across. So that could be people. So roommates, you never know where you might click or how you might click or what you might learn from them. Classes that you have to take that maybe you're not looking forward to, you might completely change your mind about it, like happened to me. You know, try things. Just be open-minded to everything because you're there to learn and that's your job and it's like one of the best times in life. So yeah, just try what you can and don't cut yourself off from anything unnecessarily. What is my favorite yoga pose? Well, I used to really enjoy headstand, but then when my retina detached, I can't do that as much anymore. So my next favorite would probably be Marichiasana D. You should look it up. It's a good one. Nice and twisty and bendy and everything. So I enjoy it. What's the funniest thing that has ever happened to me? Well, the funniest thing ever, so something that's coming to mind would be my whole life I've had a fear of fish, and I finally a couple years ago learned how to scuba dive so I could face my fear because it's not good to live with fears. And like I was saying before, cut yourself off from things. So anyway, much earlier in life before this, when I was young, we went to Marine World in Florida, which is like an old school SeaWorld, I guess. It was really neat. But we were sitting there about to watch the dolphin show, and there's like this huge theater of people, you know, outside and like the pool underneath, and there were all these people working there coming out from these doors. And someone came up and like tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Come with us." So I went, and they took me down and all the way backstage, and they wanted me to be the child that comes out to help feed the dolphins. And what do dolphins eat? They eat dead fish, or live fish, I guess. I don't know, but these were dead fish in a bucket that were cut, and I had to reach into the bucket and take these slimy, dead fish and feed the dolphins in front of like hundreds of people. And I kind of had a panic attack on stage. And they were really helpful and nice, and everyone was supportive, and the audience clapped for me, and so I did it, finally. So that, I guess, was pretty funny. What's my weirdest dream? I have a hard time remembering dreams that I have. I sleep really well, so I don't think I dream a lot, but this is really strange. I don't know why I remember this, but I dreamed once about my elementary school gym. Was called Concord. That was the school I went to, and it was like filling up with water, and like all these random people from my life were there, and so we were all just like swimming and having fun, but it was filling up, and we were getting close to the ceiling. So finally, I don't know what happened. I guess we left. I don't. It's weird. What was my favorite thing to do in high school? Conjugate verbs in Spanish. No, I'm totally kidding. I didn't really like Spanish in high school. What was my favorite thing to do in high school? Actually, believe it or not, as much as I don't enjoy math, I loved geometry. and we would do proofs, and I just really liked doing proofs. I don't know, maybe you don't mean school things, maybe you mean like other things. Didn't really do that many sports. I played basketball until I was a freshman, and was kind of clumsy, so it didn't work out, but yeah. I don't know. What else did I like to do in high school? I know, so I wasn't into sports, but my brother was, and he played football. He was 3 years younger than me, and he was the quarterback. So I never went to games when I was like younger, but by the time I was a senior, he was playing, and then when I was older. So I came back and would always go to his games, and I really did like that. It was really fun, and I was proud of him. Why did I become interested in teaching? That is easy. So my mom was a teacher for 36 years, and I never wanted to be a teacher. Never. And I went to school to open my own day spa, and so I was in business and entrepreneurship and things like that. And then I had a teacher from Colombia because I had to take a language, so I took Spanish, and he was awesome. So I decided from then on all I wanted to do was learn Spanish. And so my mom said, well, that's great, but like half the world can speak Spanish, so what else are you going to do? So it was like, well, I could teach people because I don't know, it was like I had these teachers in college just change stuff for me. And it was really a good experience, so I thought maybe I could do that. And I like having the opportunity to work with all of you people all day long, because when I was in high school, I don't know, we just didn't have as many opportunities, and I never really clicked with a teacher as well as I wish I would have. And so I think I've tried to be that for people here. So, what is my biggest regret in life? Well, you shouldn't have regrets in life. But if I had to think of one, I wish I would have, so I went to grad school for literacy, and like the focus was teaching English as a second language, which was helpful when I went to Spain. But I wish I would have done something else for grad school, and I still could, perhaps, at some point. It's not necessarily a regret, it's just if I could do it different, I might have picked something that, I don't know, I could have learned something totally different from. So, do I want to have kids? I have a child. He is my dog. His name is Diego. I have a picture. I'll show you if you can see. That's him. So, he's awesome. And he's like the best kid I could ever have because he never gives me any sass. And he does everything I want most of the time. So, but real children, yeah. Someday I would like to have some real children. And I've got like 100 on a daily basis, so for now, that's enough. What's been my biggest struggle in life? Now you guys are getting deep. My biggest struggle in life? I suppose, it's not been so much a struggle, but an ongoing challenge would be to really learn to listen to myself. And it's just over the years and over different experiences and things, it gets easier. And I find a lot more happiness and balance when I do listen to myself. So I guess that was challenging for a while maybe, but it's definitely a good piece of advice I would give you, if I could say. What is the best experience I've ever had in school or a trip or in life? Whoa. Best experience I've ever had. Well, moving to Spain was a pretty good experience. I went for 1 year, and then halfway through I knew that wasn't enough, so I stayed for another. And that changed a lot of things. It opened me up to a lot of different perspectives. It made me really appreciate different kinds of people. It made me appreciate where I came from a lot. So I guess I would have to say that. Going to Spain was one of the best things that I've ever done. Next, what's the best decision I've ever made? Obviously to become a Spanish teacher. What's the most badass thing I've done? Oh, okay. I think, I don't know that I would call this badass as much as stupid, but one summer I was in the Dominican Republic taking Spanish and dance classes, and I met a friend who's from Sweden, and her and I actually met up later in Madrid, so that was kind of fun. But anyway, so she finished before I did, and so we were in Santo Domingo, which is the south, and she was going up to Sosua, which is in the north, and wanted me to come and hang out for a weekend or whatever when I was done with my classes. So I took a bus up there, and then the bus dropped me off in it was raining, it was nighttime, and I was like in the middle of, I have no idea what. There were like trees all around, and there was a bench where the bus dropped me off, and I just got out and sat there with a suitcase, and I'm like, I thought I was going to the city and whatever. So then, in the Dominican, the transportation, really affordable taxi was actually called motoconcho, which is like a moped or some kind of motorbike, and you'd sit on it behind the driver and it would go. So this guy pulls up, and me being young and stupid, I was like, oh, could you take me to the city wherever I'm going? And so he did, and so there was like this guy, my suitcase, and me, and I was like holding onto his shoulders, and it was dark and it was raining, and we were like going in and out of all these curves, and I can remember smiling and thinking this was so thrilling, and then it was like all of a sudden, come over here. We have a friend. We have a visitor. I believe it's Jonathan, right? Yeah. Okay. Go A's. So I was, then all of a sudden it's like that part of my brain developed, and I was like, whoa, this is really dangerous, and I could die on this, and it was very scary. So that was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Why did I decide to become a vegetarian? I decided to become a vegetarian because I grew up in a small town in the Midwest, and we ate meat, and that was just what we did. And I never particularly enjoyed it. I can remember looking at fish sticks and being like, this is just weird. But I ate it because everyone else did. And then I went to college, and my mom didn't cook for me anymore, and I realized I didn't have to eat it anymore. So I didn't, and it's been 12 years. I was just thinking about that the other day. And I also, I have reasons, that's the main one, I just don't like it, but I don't like how animals are treated. I think that's wrong, and I think it can also cause environmental issues if you really look into it. So, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? That's such a good question. The world has so many amazing places. My favorite trip I've ever taken was to Hawaii. It was gorgeous and wonderful. But if I could go somewhere I've never been, I think I would like to travel to Buenos Aires and see that, and then go south into Patagonia and see what that's like. I would really enjoy to do that. But I can't narrow it down to one. There's so many places I would like to go to. Could you say por favamos for can we please? No, but that's awesome that you asked. Hashtag go Obama or hashtag no Obama. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about political opinions at school, but if you know me, you could probably figure it out. So thank you so much for your questions. I hope you've enjoyed my answers, and keep learning.